Hey, new roommates, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies, and today I'm going to be doing a movie roundup video where I talk about the movies, TV shows, and animes I watched in the last few weeks or so. Starting off at the end of July, I watched Oppenheimer by Christopher Nolan at IMAX in 70mm at the Chinese theater. I've already talked about this movie already. Feel free to check out my 18-minute long movie review on this movie, but in general, I enjoyed this movie. But some parts of the movie is really confusing, and not even in a cool way, but in a bit of a confusing way, I guess. There are moments in the movie that's very tacky, and the aspect ratio changes are very, very annoying. But overall, this is still a very compelling biopic, and some of the scenes have amazing tension building and amazing performances. 8 out of 10. Then I watched The Killing of a Sacred Deer by Yorgos Lanthimos in order to hype up his new film Poor Things. The film starts off kind of slow and kind of a drag, but once it hits the inciting incident, it hits really, really hard. The film is unnerving, disturbing, suspenseful, and off-kiltered. I also love the use of wide-angled lenses and the subtle score. The awkward dialogue complements the suspense perfectly, and I really enjoyed the film overall. The ending really leaves you in shock, and Barry Keoghan is very creepy. 8 out of 10. Afterwards, I watched As Tears Go by Wong Kar-Wai. That rhymes. And this is the first Wong Kar-Wai film ever, and also my Chinese teacher's favorite Wong Kar-Wai film. And even though this is an early Wong Kar-Wai film, and he is following a pretty formulaic gangster film formula, you can already sort of see his style emerge. The smoke coming out of the back alleys, the wide angles, the neon lights, the energetic camera movements, the step printing plus low shutter speeds, the atmospheric lighting, and the romance part of the film is very dreamy and captivating. The more gangster parts are relatively not so interesting. But we do have the iconic scene with Jackie Chan at the end, which is absolutely fantastic. Not bad for a debut, I enjoyed it a lot, 7 out of 10. Then I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 by James Gunn, and as you can probably tell, I really like this one. This is one of the most moving and bold MCU films ever. The dark moments are darker, the jokes are funnier, the stakes are higher, and the weird is weirder. Every single character has a moment to shine, and yeah, there are some flaws here and there, but overall this is a really enjoyable ride of a film. Call me a pleb, but I enjoyed an MCU film. 8 out of 10. Afterwards, I rewatched Burning at the landmark Westwood Theater with my Hong Konger friend Potter. I already did a full-length review on it as well, so no need to elaborate too much. Let's just say that this film is amazing. It's a very interesting film that sticks in your head. It's the kind of film that you watch once and then you keep thinking about it again and again and again. Every single moment of silence and emptiness felt really purposeful in this film, and it's really enjoyable. 9 out of 10. So of course, after having watched so many great films, I have to follow that up with something bad. And I watched the live action adaptation of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable, Chapter 1. And yeah, while JoJo Part 4 is my favorite part in the anime, they only adapted the first few chapters for the movie, which I believe are the most boring parts of the entire arc. I think the CGI and the costumes and the sets are so clean and so sterile, so much so that it looks goofy. It doesn't look believable. And it's not supposed to be believable in the first place. That's why it's an anime, because if it looks like it's real life, then it looks goofy. It breaks the disbelief of suspension, or whatever the hell you say that. It looks terrible. And it's coming from Takashi Miike, who made Audition, literally one of my favorite films ever. The direction is not as interesting at all, and it just feels repetitive. 4 out of 10. Then I watched Heavenly Delusion, or Tengoku Daima Kyo, which is an anime, and despite the cliches and the fan service moments, this is actually really intelligently written. It's very dystopian and very depressing, and sometimes very effectively scary as well. This anime is super underrated, and you guys need to see it. 8 out of 10. Then I watched Lost Highway by David Lynch, and okay, my new roommates are coming back. Yeah, maybe I was too sleepy when I watched the film, but I have no idea what the fuck just happened. At least the ending of Mulholland Drive offered an explanation, but this film is just one gigantic, confusing puzzle. But there's still a lot of very, very interesting directions in this film, a lot of random sex scenes, a lot of LA noirisms, a lot of 90s haircuts, a lot of weird, goofy characters. So it's definitely a film that I have to rewatch again because I really have no idea what just happened. I'm just gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for now, but I really don't know. Alright, then I watched Phantom of the Paradise at the landmark Newark Theater, and it's sort of this horror comedy musical rock opera, and that sounds like a recipe for either a disaster or a masterpiece. And I'm happy to say that it is a masterpiece. This movie is so absurd and gross and over the top and ridiculous, it actually becomes enjoyable in a really good way. The music is really good in the movie. I was really scared that the music would be bad because I am not a big fan of musicals, as many other people, but the music's really good. I also like the themes explored of creating art and the ownership of that art itself. This film is really bold and really creative, and it's crazy that it came out in 1974. So yes, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Finally, I watched Howl's Moving Castle by Hayao Miyazaki, which of course I watched in order to hype up his new film, How Do You Live, or the lamer, newer title, The Boy and the Heron. Yeah, this film is not as tight as Spirited Away, but it's still really freaking good. The animation is gorgeous, and the use of colors and sound design are ingenious. The film just has a childlike wonder that just makes this film super captivating. So yeah, while I think Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away are still way better than Howl's Moving Castle, not even close, I still think Howl's Moving Castle is a really solid one. 9 out of 10. So, have you seen these movies, TV shows, and animes? Comments below, let me know. Subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching. I don't know what's wrong with my voice today. Oh my god.